hopeful Councillor Tiawan Gongloe. Most time I refer to him as the poor man lawyer. It's great seeing you back this morning. Good morning to you.
Now everybody's calling me the broom man.
Oh, the broom man. Also, for poor man lawyer, we should jump into the broom man.
Politically, I'm the broom
So
man.
why are you carrying broom?
To clean our government of corruption. You know, government is not a place to steal; it's a place to serve.
That's why you
Those
carrying
who
the
steal
broom.
belong in jail.
So the poor man lawyer now.
Clean them. We will clean the roles in government. In fact, I'm going to clean everybody in government now who is stealing.
You're too anxious for this job. You look so anxious for this job.
Get them out. Liberia deserves to be a much better place than it is today. We are not a poor country naturally. We are poor by choice. On election day, we vote for rice, money, and liquor. That's what makes us poor. Because, listen, Botswana, I always like to contrast Liberia with Botswana. It's a country that is landlocked. We are not landlocked. We have a big.
I see you keep up the fire burning thing. How you doing this, ball? Let's tell them like that. Let me ask you. I don't want to stop this ball. Then Tiawan is not that fit. Then of course, you want to feel after 5 minutes you're breathing heavily. How well are you this morning? You doing health wise?
I can do 100 push-ups right now. You want me to try it right now? I can do 100.
But you fit for the presidency?
Yeah, I can do 100 push-ups now.
Okay.
How you think I've gone to 13 countries?
You visited 13 countries.
First in the history of Liberia.
13 countries.
I do not know any presidential aspirant that has gone to 50 countries.
13 countries.
Even 50 towns. I've been to 301 towns in 13 countries.
Okay, we'll get to that. How you doing health-wise? I just want to know. Everything okay with you?
I'm fit. I do, 70 sit-ups.
70 sit-ups?
Yeah.
At your age?
At my age. I'm a trainer in Boys Town.
Okay.
Every Saturday and Sunday, I train people. Rufus Berry and others will bear witness to that. I'm called coach. So I have something called comprehensive exercise that I invented that people at the age of 30 can do, with me. I think you saw me at Benson Street one day. I was passing and I saw the young people training. I said, okay, I was dressed up, I got up and I started doing the comprehensive jumping jack. You couldn't do it.
Okay, so you fit.
Very
fit and ready to go.
You have to be fit.
Fit and ready to go.
Fit to be mentally awake.
Okay. You have some sleepless night nowadays. I mean, the legal people say the clients are sleeping, where the legal people having some sleepless nights in order for them to have the best of result from the court. How is it?
It's even worse with presidents.
The rest.
Because, if you watch President Obama and the Bin Laden situation, up to 3 o'clock it was up. And I work with President Sawyer. I know during the peace process, we used to be up 4 o'clock working while others were sleeping. So I know I worked in the presidency for 4 years. It's not a retirement job. It's not a job for anyone who is easily tired or something like that.
The president says it's not a retirement job.
It is not a retirement job. What? It's a tough place. You are holding meetings with different segments of the population, and there are strategic security decisions you have to make. You have to be up. And that's why I tell you the joke. I learned something from the presidency. One day, a group of advisors led by Ambassador Fangalo, Ambassador Brewer, Ambassador Peter Johnson, they came around 9 o'clock, and I was in the president's apartment where I took her and said, "Where is the president?" I said, "He's still sleeping."
In Masoya,
yeah. And they told me, "Shut up." I said, "But he's sleeping." They said, "Shut up." I said, "Why?" I said, "The president of Liberia cannot sleep. He's president 24 hours. So next time, say the president is indisposed. Because if you say the president is sleeping,
I've been saying the president is sleeping. The president is still in bed.
The president is sleeping. So don't say that. You are a security risk. You informing our enemies to go attack us. And this is wartime. I said, okay. So I learned the president is indisposed. It doesn't say whether the president is sleeping or the president.
Early morning nap.
It just shows that the president is not available at this time.
What kind of presidency Tiawan Gongloe wants for Liberia? In pricing, I've been seeing the past 1 year now. You've been moving just everywhere, north, south, east, and west, carrying a broom. At one point in time, I told you say you need an iron broom. What's the presidency you want for this country?
Iron broom was scripted human being. We want to sweep. We don't want to hurt.
Okay.
So I want to be a project manager to change Liberia's story for the better. This is a naturally rich country, a country that has a fertile soil. Ask all the farmers throughout the country, nobody uses fertilizer. But they can make rice farm one place 4 years and they still get good yield. So we're not poor. Then in the soil that God gave us, you have iron ore, you have diamond, you have gold, you have uranium, so many mineral resources. Look, that's why I like to compare with Botswana. Botswana is a landlocked country with 70% of the land area covered by desert, which means nothing can grow there. Only 30%. But with good leadership on that 30%, they are growing, they are raising cows, goats, and sheep, and exporting meat to southern part of Africa.
Botswana.
Yeah, Botswana is doing that. Good leadership. That's all we like in this country. If we have good leadership in this country, Liberians will be happy. There will be maximum enjoyment because there will be the management of our resources in such a way that everyone will have maximum benefit from the resources. But Botswana has only diamond. We have diamond, we have gold. Every country in Liberia has gold. But we are poor because we do not have the leadership that will manage the resources in such a way that is fairly, the income generated from the resources are fairly, distributed.
At some point in time, a couple of weeks ago, I tried placing a call to you. Unfortunately, I couldn't get you. Later on, I learned that you spend most of the time in the rural parts of Liberia. You visited 13 counties where I got informed. When you go to the people, what do you hear from them? What do you say to them? What do you hear to them? And those areas you visited?
The first thing that they tell me is, you are the first presidential aspirant in our lifetime to visit our village. When they come, we just hear they are in Banga, or they are in Sanikole, or they are in Zretru, or they are in Barclayville, or Harper, or Rabosport, or Bupulu. Only the capital cities. I am going to the people because I strongly believe.
You can't have been some of the area you visited? Oh. Those towns. You talk about 300 towns, villages.
Okay, for example, in Riverside, I went to Bakwai town. Bakwai town is across the river upstream from Sesto City. I went there and discovered that it is the home of the current president's late mother, Annie. But he's never been there. So I got this one thing over him. And on this radio, if he's not listening, I'm telling his people that town is so underdeveloped, let him go do something there so the people can feel that their daughter born a president who's president now. They have a school there that is a makeshift school built with sticks, and they manage it on their own. It's because no motor road goes there. The only way to get there is by Kino. If you go by the road, Kino, you take like 4 hours to go upstream. It's not right across.
So, but what means you went there? Yeah, you went through.
I hired a motorized Kino. One we call Fanti Kino with a motor.
Okay.
So it took us 35 minutes. Me and my crew.
I mean, you're brave enough to ride a Kino.
So I got that.
Or a life-saving jacket. And
there is no risk too big for me to take for Liberia. That's the person I've been all my life. That's why I've been to jail and all that. I could have died. I can name 5 instances in my life that I could have died for Liberia. So I don't consider any risk too big for me to take for Liberia. So in fact, I was asked in that time, what made you brave to come? Our superintendents, our representatives, our senators, none of them come here. Nobody has come here to say they need you in this river. And you cross the river. I told them the same answer. There's no risk too big for me to take for Liberia. I want to be president of all Liberia, the one in the city and the one in the villages. So I came to see how you people are living. So that when I'm president, when you talk about issues, I say, I know Pakwaita, it needs help. So I went there and they welcomed me. They gave me Cllr, usual traditions and everything. And they took me around the town. Up to now, I still get calls from my coordinators there. They're very, very happy that I went there. So, I went to Bujizia town.
Where is that?
That's in Riverside. I went to Kambuta in Riverside. I went to Sud town in Grand Bazaar. There's a Bazigia town, Risk Bazigia. But there's
Grand Bazaar.
Yeah, there's a Bazigia town in Grand Bazaar. All right? I went to all of Grand Bazaar compound. I was the first public figure to sleep in Orange Grove on December 24th. That's the sacrifice I made. I left my family. I slept there December 24th and I said, everybody jumps over orange group because the first time grandmother they go to Buchanan. What made you sleepy? I said, I want to see all Liberians and to experience the life that they are living. You know, I've been sleeping. I don't want to name the particular places so that I don't feel I'm showing their poverty, but I've slept on bamboo bed. You know, bamboo bed made out of the raffia, and then and then the mattress, the straw mattress from palm leaves, right? They put it in the beds, the bags, empty rice bag. They make it like a mattress, and they put the palm straw in it. I slept in it in one county. And then the bathrooms are far away from the house, and the bathroom is in one direction, the toilet is in one direction. But I was recently in Grand Cru. I went to Belwan. I slept in Belwan, and then from there I went to Dubotown. I went to Barclayville. Barclayville is a city that's not important to me, but I went to Sasstown, the home of President Weah, and I was well received in Sasstown.
Sasstown?
Yes. Then in Maryland, something important, historically important happened. I was told that I was the first presidential aspirant and politician to enter Sidiken. Sidiken in Maryland is between Harper and Plebo, and it's off the main road. And I was told that it was, in fact, this is the first settlement in Maryland. Historically, that's the first place in Maryland not settled before the spread. But nobody goes there. I went there.
So going to all of these places.
I slept in Tucson.
Okay,
I
great.
slept in Tucson. I'm a man from Nimba. Sleeping in Tucson was significant. I arrived in Tucson around 7:30 in the evening. I was well received by the people in Tucson that Samuel goes home. And then
in Granger there?
Granger there. And they said to me, I said, you will sleep here? I said, yes, I was sleeping. I slept there. I also went to the late General Weston's town, Pines Town. You know, I went to Pines Town, General Weston's town. I went to Kumbasa in Nimba, Zwale. I slept in Zwale. I went to Jackson Doe's town. I selected these places because they are historically important to me. You know, and then, you know, I've been to Jakaken. Those people from River G will tell you.
So going to all of these places, I'm just listening to you. You just calling there. You just calling this. When you go to the people, what do they say to you?
They are happy. Two things. They are happy that I'm the first
presidential
political figure. Because they say even representative and senatorial candidates send their people.
Did it actually with this bed? With Tiawan Gongloe?
And then they say your husband, will always hear you on the radio. Okay. I've already increased my profile.
Okay, the Pullman lawyer.
They say we'll always hear you on the radio. People talk about you. But this is our first time seeing you. Then I tell them my 10-point agenda. When I name the 4 major ones that I feel is transformative for both people who live in the rural area and the urban area, they get electrified with excitement. When I say pregnant women, children under the age of 5, and people 65 years old will go to government hospital and clinic free of charge when I become president, the whole goes in. Then when I say your children will go to school from kindergarten.
And the promises you're making up.
Yes. I want to be clear.
I hope you remember some of the things you're saying.
It's written. I want to be.
You're not just talking off.
I want to be clear. I thought about these things. And when I tell them, I say, I'm not just coming and say, I want to be president, I'll have a better country. No, I'm telling you exactly what I'll do so you can hold me accountable tomorrow.
Your role to the presidency, Councillor Tiawan Gongloe, 180 days to elections. I mean, this is very important.
Yeah.
We're doing the countdown. We'll start off at 300, now at 180 days to election. Your role to the presidency, and how do you see it? Is it a narrow chance? Because nowadays, politics in our country now, you have to have the issue of finance, going to campaign yet and that. How is it? How does the process go? When you go to the people, after saying all of it, at the end of the day, they expect you to leave some kind of political water. And we all know you that you've been a Pullman lawyer all along. How you manage it?
They appreciate that when you give, because they know I'm a Pullman lawyer, and say, I say, yeah, $3,000 for Nigerian for water or for short copy. They appreciate it. Some say, look, after listening to you, we didn't expect you to give us anything else. Because you see that you will put potable yards in all of the countries so that the roads are constantly maintained, so there will be freedom of movement. That one alone will happen. When you say you mechanize rice production, so that you put rice producing machines in the 15 countries for us to have rice, for price of rice to drop, even that alone is important. When you say you open free trade schools all in the country so that our children can learn to be mechanics, to be carpenters and all of that. Now when they ride motorbike and go to the gold camp, by the way, I express sympathy to those young people in Grand Nigeria while I was there. 5 persons died in one gold camp, you know, and incidentally, most of them were from my county, Nimba. Also in ITR while I was there, one young man, also the thing collapsed on him and he died, and one person there was broken. I went and spoke to them. So young people are living tough life. Either they ride motorbikes or they work in the gold camp and diamond mines. Either mechanics, carpenters, electricians, and other skills. If they have other skills, they will do other things. But one young man told me in Grand Crew, a town called Philadelphia, he said, Councillor Gongloe, I want you to thank the Chinese and the Indians for producing motorbikes. Because if we didn't have motorbikes in the country, we don't know what life would be living. And I said, well, I want to change the narrative. My role, what I want to do is to change that. Every story of Bar Road, I'll change it. A story of government hospital and clinic not being good will be changed, because when I'm president, I'll make surprise visits to hospitals and clinics all over the country. I come for medical checkup. You tell me, Mr. President, we don't have this, we don't have that in the hospital. You are fired and sent for investigation.
You're fired right away.
You are fired and sent for investigation to the police to account for what is there, because before going out, the finance minister has the money in the budget being dispersed to JJ Dawson Hospital in Cape Palmas. I go there. After that, I go to Bokeza in Lufa, where I slept, or I go to Bagedu.
You're just going everywhere.
And another place I slept, Bagedu is a Madingo town in Lufa. Incidentally, some young men from Nima with me who got to Bagedu. Oh, we didn't know there was a Madingo town in Liberia. I said, well, you just learn it. Where only Madingo will, then from there we went to Sakanadu.
In Lofa.
Yeah, we went to Sakanadu in Lofa.
Great. So
and then in Bapulo, for example, I realized in Nima, my people are always the country just like Nigerian people in West Africa. I saw Nibayans in Heretown, Bapulo. Huge number. They came to receive me. And then I slept in a town called Supermarket. You know, I slept in Bapulo. I slept in Nagbena. In fact, there's a child in Nagbena named Tiawan, because named after me, because I woke up in the morning, I saw the little girl. I said, oh, you're pregnant. If that child is a girl, you know, traditional say that would be my wife. If there's a boy, my namesake. 4 days later, she called me. Our mother called me and said, oh, we just born you, that boy. So that
the child didn't tell one.
Yeah, so they asked me to take the child out of the house. What is it? They call it, you know, from the delivery room. So I sent something there, and the child was taken from the delivery room. They were talking.
Let's go.
So I'm naming, and I really enjoy that I went around the country, because I can relate to. And I'm advising all presidential candidates to do it.
To move around. So that's my next question I'm going to ask. What we see on the social media, let me just quiz you on this one, because most of the thing on the social media, when you come on the ground, reality is far different.
That's true.
Yes, you post, you get 1,000 comments, 1,000 likes on the ground. I mean, it's a different thing.
It's different.
What is happening in Monrovia is far different from happening in these counties. Your own experience.
Look, let me tell you, in fact, I can say without any fear or favor or contradiction, you know, and without any fear or contradiction, I'm telling President, we are all the poor for Southeastern Liberia. In the government, they are disappointed at people. Southeastern Liberia had the worst road I've seen in Africa, and I travel all over Africa. Why should the people be treated that way? Look, let me tell you, it is from Kilipo Kaweke in River G to Gwepo Kaweke. No more time, because I've been on that road from 1979 when I was a student leader. I took taxi from Harper Taxi in 1979. And I arrived in Monrovia at 9 o'clock in the night. 1979, same day. It can happen today. From Kilipo Kaweke, after I had my event in Kilipo weekend. The next event was in Grepo weekend. I still saw Cllr. O'Neill. It's a 30-minute row. In fact, 20-minute row. Because from Kilipo weekend, you pass Putuken, you in Grepo weekend, which is the real weekend that people know. I left 5 o'clock, I arrived 1 a.m. the next morning. The people were waiting for me for the event. I had gone to bed. So I ended up sleeping in Duake off the main road in another town. The people were waiting for me. My event was supposed to be for 2 hours in Grepo weekend. And then I was going to go to Duake, 8 o'clock, sleep there. I have my event in the morning. I went to Duake, the home of Dr. Johnson Jipley, one of my supporters who was on the trip with me. When we slept in Duake.
Tell me, you just going everywhere. I mean, there's some other presidential hopeful. I mean, don't visit the areas you're talking about.
Because when you go there, the conditions, and come on, you're going to sit on. I mean, in the places you sleep, the bathroom, no shower. I drank water. If you
from the creek.
Yeah, but because in the Grepo land, they give you cola nut with pepper and salt, right?
Yeah.
Then in Jagakem, for example, they brought a bucket of water that they taking the water from the bucket and giving to you for everybody who eat the cola and pepper. You want to take your mineral water bottle, politically incorrect. I say I drink the water. In fact, I don't drink, but on my travel, I drank at least less than a stopper full of king juice because they brought the cola nut in the Grepo land. We ate the cola, pepper, and salt. And then the next thing they brought was the king juice, the water. So everybody drinks, myself, I drink small.
Okay.
If you don't do it, they will not talk to you.
Tell on. I'm back to this word. Are you talking of any political party? Because somewhere in the social media, again, is part of this. Someone said, well, Tiawan could make a good vice president to any of the presidential hopeful. But with all you're saying, it appears that you are for this. You are for the president.
But
so
I'm
you
way
keep
ahead
moving.
of everybody.
You way ahead?
I'm way ahead of everybody. Look.
So you're not begging everybody to go as
I'm way ahead
of
everybody.
Ahead.
I'm way ahead of everybody. First thing, historically, I have been a critic of government. I've been, my track record in government has been very good. Nobody can say anything negative about me in government. I never put my hand in a cookie jar. I like to do everything with passion. Everywhere I went, when I Justice Ministry or Labor Ministry, I used to be the first to go to work the last 2 years.
I'm a bit confused. Of all of the presidential candidates, you're telling me say you're way ahead. On what ground?
Even ahead of the president.
On what ground? You're saying that you're way ahead because you visited, you going now?
Power belongs to the people. There is a silent majority that is supporting me. My message is correct, and they check my track record. That they asked me, why should we believe you? I said, because our Justice Ministry, when I was interviewed, I was being vetted by the Senate. I said, I want to transform prosecution. I went there. There was no law school graduates county attorney except in Monrovia. Before, in 2 years, I transformed the place and put only law school graduates and county attorneys in all of the counties. Prosecution was transformed. And knowledge is power. The people who were there every day, they used to call me. SG, the police commander in Grand Junction, does not respect me. The immigration commander does not respect me. I said, because knowledge is power. They went to police academy. You know, went to any school. As soon as I put Adolphus Canoa County attorney in Grand Junction, I heard no more complaint. Because knowledge is power. They were teaching the police commander and the immigration commander what the law is. Same thing with Luther in Lofa, Africano Gabriel in Sino County. All these people who were the pioneers in terms of transforming prosecution. I went to Ministry of Labor. I said I will strengthen the Liberian, I will enforce the Liberianization policy to make sure Liberians get a job. So I issued regulation number 17, which the current Minister of Labor is still thanking me for. Thank you for the regulation. It increased the work permit fee.
You won't talk about labor because we have complaints just everywhere. Let's just leave the labor issue.
I'm not talking about labor. I'm not labor minister. I'm not going to talk about that. But I'm just saying what I did there. So I increased the work permit fee from 400 of my team to 1,000 US as a team. The deputy minister, everybody we met, we said the right thing to do. As soon as we did it, the number of foreign employment dropped and they employ more Liberians. I take responsibility for the young ladies you see in the supermarket. are cashiers. Before regulation number 17, they were not there. So when I say something, I do it. I completed the labor law that Kofi started and submitted it to the president, who then submitted it to the legislature. So when I say something, I think through things before I say them, because I intend to do it. And the way I do it is all in my mind. For example, the revolutionary thing that I say, that I will make the military to fight a new war, and the war that the military will fight, because they never fought any war in
you make your military to fight a
the
new war.
AFL will fight a war.
What sort of war
that
is
war
that?
will be against hunger.
Okay.
But ordering the AFL as commander-in-chief, I will give
You're
them...
speaking of CIC now?
Yes, I will give them new machines, new guns. That will be caterpillars, tractors, and compound harvesters.
Oh, that's the war you're talking about?
Yes,
okay.
to fight hunger. To fight hunger by producing...
You want your army to fight hunger?
They will fight hunger. Not less than 100 acres of rice will be commanded to producing each of the CIC. And so I will give machines to the farmers through the farmers cooperatives. And if the farmers are producing rice with machines, they can produce from the fire stroke, which is rice. And then the army is producing rice using machines. Liberia will be transformed from being a rice importer to a rice exporter. Instead of us spending $200 million every year to import rice in this country, I have a dream of making Liberia getting $500, $600, $800 million a year for exporting rice.
Okay, I think my colleague will come in shortly.
Then we have transformed.
Yes,
I want to change Liberia's
You
story.
want to change, I'm saying.
I'm passionate about it. I think about it, and it's clear.
It's clear.
You think about go to Bokasa or clinic, I go to Robert Spoke Clinic, and about 10 heads of clinics and hospitals are in jail because they can't account for what government put there. You think anybody will steal from medicine for any hospital again? No. Then I have made Liberian clinic and hospitals #1, better than private clinics. And then I've improved the health condition of Liberian people.
Great.
That's what I think about it.
I like what you say, knowledge is power. And of course, power is the ultimate supreme. You can't beat it. Let's go back to this. In terms of election goals for finance, I'm back to this thing, the financial muscle in terms of you visiting county, printing flyers, billboard, as you get closer to the process. You've been a poor lawyer. Liberians should not vote on the backdrop of money business, but you need some finance to move in all of the 15 counties.
You know, I like the song that this young man made. Maybe you know the name of the author of that song. I'm not a millionaire, but I can make it happen. We're not millionaires, we can make it happen. Look,
yeah, they were brother in there laughing.
No, let me tell you,
go ahead.
We're not a millionaire, but we can make it happen.
Okay.
Okay, what we need money for? I don't have money, but even people in government are silently giving me money.
Okay, and people in government?
Yeah, people who are connected.
They started lobbying for job already?
No, they're not lobbying for job. They say, we like what you are doing. You're a good person. They're like, Honor Taylor, people used to tell me, even ATU would tell me. The other day, the young man standing up, were passing by the mansion, and I heard EPS was say, we're part of the team, oh. People want good things. And so, how am I getting gas in it? How am I repairing the 3 cars I have only one to it?
How many vehicles you have part of your movement already? 3. I mean, that's small, man. You have 15 counties.
I don't even need more.
You don't need more?
No. Let me tell you something. I saw President Conte in Guinea with 3-car convoy. I saw President Tobo here with 3-car convoy. What that long convoy for? So the Liberians in Minnesota gave me 2 vehicles. Last year, they believed in me, they gave me 2 vehicles. I got one Toyota Land Cruiser. The last time I went to Bond County a week ago to my mother's town, they called me to present me to the people of their clan. I rented, because the vehicles I brought from Southeastern Liberia are all down. They all down. I spent more than $3,000 to repair. They're all down, full wheel and all damaged. It's not easy in Southeastern Liberia. The people are really suffering. And it is in Southeastern Liberia that I developed just, when I crossed, I was walking, you probably saw me with my shoes in my hand walking. I was not joking. I walked like from here to the main road in the mud. And then when I got across, it was around 6 o'clock. I sat there until 9 o'clock. I had to pick leaves, put it on the ground, and started sleeping on the leaves. Then around 12:30, they came and said, oh, our cars are out of the mud. I said, oh. There's a lady in a car that was brought from Monrovia and said she's sick, they want to take her to Liberia or Hapo. We can't leave without getting her out. So the Toyota Land Cruiser Jeep went back to hold that car. I think that is what affected the 4 weeks because the car was so loaded. This pickup was so loaded. So to get it out of the mud, and in my good conscience, I couldn't leave a sick person there. So that's how we left from there around 1 o'clock in the morning. Ugado, Gripo Kawigan, whole town was asleep. So what I said to myself, okay, so when you have bad road, it undermines peace and security. I said, suppose Africans attack us, I will move troops across the border. I will move troops. And then I said, so you have ambulance. So when you have bad road, ambulance is totally meaningless. Taking a sick person from Kilipo Kawe to Gripo Kawe in the big clinic, the person will die right at the mud. Because you spend 8 hours there, you might die already. So,
with part of the plans you are laying out to the Liberian people as a president, sometimes some of these policies have to come through legislation, some will come through the legal order and other policy means. If you're elected, what kind of legislature would you like to work with? Because a strong president must always have a peaceful legislature.
From my experience, unfortunately, the presidential power in this country is strong. And people follow their leaders. Liberian people do follow their leaders. Even the ordinary people, as much as President Weah is not doing much in many parts of the country, Liberian people say, you know, it's not the president, the people around the president. They love the president. And presidents have just been unfair to them because the people, they find excuses for the president. I strongly believe that when I am president, I will persuade the lawmakers. I'm a lawyer and advocate and might be the first well-trained lawyer to be president of Liberia. I would take my case to the people. You lawmaker, in that envelope you're looking for the past legislation I send there. For example, one of the legislations I would send would be when you are convicted of corruption, you must never work in the government of Liberia until you die. So if I send that legislation, because I intend in 2 months, because all the politicians, the officials of government, the 3 branches of government, on the internet, everybody will get on the phone. It will be on the face, it will be in the newspapers, it will be in simple English, everybody. So if you are a minister coming from Vumati Sino, and in 2 months you start building 3-story building, the young people that will get on the community rate, they never still look at, we know your salary and benefit, you know, and then it will get to me. I'll call you, I say, oh, Minister O'Neill, Robert, you from Vumati, they say you're building 3-story building, that's true. That all I need to, oh, Mr. President, that's true, but I will not hear you, but I know, I already know.
You need to order the pricing.
And you, listen.
I mean, the pricing will be involved into businesses. No,
I know the law. The law says you cannot get any game value more than $250. So I already know the law. I'm like, President, nobody come and tell me, I'm not going to add that. Is that the law?
So you think some ministers don't involve into businesses?
Well, they shouldn't. Conflict of interest. Amen. Look, so you know, the good thing is there's a difference between ministers, political appointees, and civil servants. You are minister, I'm a will and pleasure. Okay. So I'll fire you and send you over to the Liberian Anti-Corruption Commission for further investigation. When you are found guilty, you go to jail for 5 to 10 years. It's not sufficient for me. The law provides for confiscation. We'll confiscate the balance of the money, we'll seize it from the bank, we'll seize your property, the houses and cars and everything you bought. Then your family starts suffering. And every time I've gone to one, I say, so if 5 ministers are in jail for 10 years each, and the family members are suffering, you think any minister will want to stay again? They say, no. I say, the group that will finish being corruption with government. I said, you think any greedy person who wants to be minister or managing director, anything to steal, will want job in my government? They said, no. I said, good. When we stop corruption, we'll have enough money for our farming program, our educational program, our road program, our health program. Then there's another side that people don't know. Corruption threatens our personal security. Because of corruption, people go to medicine and say, I want to be minister at all costs. They say, but then bring me human being hard. You'll be minister. I want to win the election so I can be representative, get my own 30,000. So to get my own 30, but you got to know the country to be president. To get my own 30,000, because 2 years and the got 60,000. I want, oh, but bring me him up in Liberia. You be representative or senator. Okay, I want to be this other thing. Bring me him. Nobody will be living. You take the pass from them. So it is corruption that is the incentive for threatening our personal security. In the interior, nobody send their wife to the farm alone now. No, yeah, everywhere I went, they said, hey. I said, okay, when I was 7 years old going to Mela public school in the interior, you know, my mom used to say, when you come from school, come on the farm, your food will be there. I said, so I asked him every time, you can tell your 7-year-old child, yeah, I beg you, our wife said, we can't tell them to go alone, they will walk. They said, the people, they can be, you see your child going in the bush by themselves, the wicked people, they give money to some young boys. As soon as they see a child going in the bush by themselves, they go behind the child and kill that child. Or they take a woman from the road on a motorbike, and 2 persons sit down in the middle, they go on the highway and kill you. Or they take, you know, so it is because of corruption. When we stop corruption, we'll have enough money to develop the country, but we'll also enhance our personal security.
Okay, what is your appreciation of this one of the voter registration? What do you hear from the people who travel out of the city?
Well, in fact, one of my reasons of going around the 13 countries was to encourage them to vote, because everywhere I went, they say, we want to vote, so what can get out of it? Then I lay out my plan. I say, I want to change your story. And I say, when I talk, I say, this thing I'm talking, is it good? Does it make sense? They say, yes, I'm a teacher, I seek, you know. And then when I finish, I say, everybody who agrees with my plan, stand up. The whole hall can stand up. And that's what I'm saying, I'm ahead. Because I'm testing what I'm saying. And so, everywhere I've gone, including Southtown, President Whom, when I talk about free education and the road condition, because Southtown Road is like somebody's farm road. I mean, rich man farm road, real poor man farm road. Yeah, it's like narrow path. And one tree, that the President Whom, the only thing that is in Southtown, that is solar, that is a new thing in town, the solar light on 2 sides of the road entering Southtown. But how does that improve the medical condition, the health condition, and food? People say price of rice way up. We're buying bag of rice $5,000. Where do you get money from? And this is dry season. I'm talking about the road condition in dry season, my people. Think about rainy season. I was told in Grand Judah that last year during the rainy season, they were paying $30,000 to $40,000 on one way from Zwedru to Ganta. And that's an area that does not have many companies to you know, for people to earn money. So it's just, you know, the Southeastern Liberia, and Senator Zopeno said it last year. He said, I can't see Southeastern Liberia voting for CDC because of the way they are suffering under a government that is predominantly occupied by people from Southeastern Liberia. In George Bullis Town, Putu Tiamata, I slept there. And then in the morning we were talking and saying, you know, the president is from Southeastern Liberia, the finance minister from Southeastern Liberia. One young man shouted at me, I said, you being reasonable, no, you're wrong. The whole government from Southeastern Liberia, why are you naming some people? You know,
okay. Great. So before we get the lines activated, there 180 days. Are you having discussion with any political parties about this? You know, from your merger, are you in a discussion?
I don't know who would be discussing with the political strategies on the radio.
No, you discussing perhaps you go find a collaboration.
I will never do that.
You're not in conversation with
I will never discuss. Are you
in conversation?
I will never I'm an experienced person.
Is the LPP party open now to welcome other political parties to join it?
Yeah, of course. Let me say, we're a liberal party. We are a mature party, a party of advocates for good governance, for unity, for peace and reconciliation. Why do you think I slept in Tucson, the standard bearer of LPP? It was deliberate. Keeping reconciliation and unity, you know, as on the agenda, and actually showing an example. You know, it's not just talking, yeah, showing an example. And the poor, I don't think anybody else will get vote for Tucson. Because the whole night they were dancing and very happy that Councilor Gongloe slept in Tuzo. Symbolically, it's good.
Campaign time, you go back there.
I will go back there. You know, one of my campaigners from Tuzo, his name is Cllr Julukai. You know, I got friends. I went to Babla Town, another town in Grand General, far away from the Miro. Because my friend Edmond Babla, Alfonso Babla.
Your party organs across the country, because you and I know that you should have at least party headquarters in
Yeah. For example, the best headquarters, for example, that we have outside Monrovia is in Zwetru, near Zopena's house. Beautiful building. Show me there. The guys in Ribochi are very good. The guys in Grand Cru, the Germans from Belwan, very, I slept in Belwan, very good. The guy in Maryland. You know, they are the ones that were taking me to the villages that I went to. They said, this is a significant village, let's go here. Because, for example, in Jakaken has the head of the Elders Council is in Jakaken. By the way, I'm doing something that many people have not done. You know, most often the people in the rural area that gown the big people from the interior, right? There's red, white, and blue country club shirt that I have that you've seen with a hat. It's found everywhere in Liberia now. I've gowned very important traditional leaders in the 13 countries with my clothes and giving them broom, incorporating them into the broom movement, and they appreciate that. Like I did one in Jakaken to the old man. He said, oh, you know, even when the president came here, he didn't see me, and you recognized me. That's big. And then one old man in Pine Town right at the checkpoint, he's about 87 years old. He said, he didn't know that what I was doing. He said, my son, don't go to big towns. The big town people are rascal. We small town.
The big town people are rascal.
Yeah, he said the big. When you come to the small town, and we promise you, we're gonna keep our promise.
Well, the big town.
The big town for everybody.
Okay.
They're for everybody. By the time you get, I say, yeah, for you. So I said, that's exactly what I'm doing. And when I put my small towns together, that's what I'm saying. I'm ahead. Between that election, no candidate, including the president, can cover the ground that I've covered. Because first thing, it will be impossible when the rain starts.
Yes, presidential hopeful Councilor Tiawan Gongloe with us on the breakfast show. Is 3 minutes down, 9 o'clock.
So let me say, I'm bringing new standard in politicking. Go to the people.
But visiting everyone.
Go to the people who are the custodians of power. You know, don't go to San Nicolas and say, we'll call upon the people to come, then the poor pay their way to come, and then you take money and give it to some people, and the few people divide it, and the poor go. I'm respecting all Liberians. For me, all Liberians are equally important when it comes to governance.
All right.
That's what I'm showing.
Yes, all Liberians are equally important. Yes, when it comes to Liberia. Let's get the lines activated. 077405017 line 1. Yes, so we'll pick calls 2 for Baka. Let's hear from you, Councilor Tiawan Gongloe, presidential hopeful. Live of us, been following the discussion. You can place in your call 077405017 and that of the other line call. Let's hear from you this morning on the TBS 100. Yeah, go ahead.
Good morning. Yeah, go ahead. Okay, thank you. This one. Good morning. Good morning. Morning. Good morning to and to our leader join the conversation from District 4 Monrovia Company, and this is the voice of well, Councilor Congo, I've been following you over the years, and as I said, I know your potential. You are one of our best leaders in our just visionary. We are proud of. But I listened to your manifesto, and there are a lot of things
Okay. All right. Yes. Let me pick two for my end this morning. This person, I'll do this first person. Yeah. Just move away from your monitor. Yes. Good morning.
Good morning, O'Neill. I'm sorry, I was hoping to get through, and thank you for taking my call. This is Melvin McKay from District Number 1. I'd like to say good morning to Coach, and I admire him for the work that he's doing. And I know very well that he's trustworthy as well. Very hardworking. I just want to know, Coach, if you may answer this question for me. Traveling through these different areas in the interior, most especially the southeast, the present government talks about the road that they're building, the roads they are building out there. I just want to know how many paved roads that you see out there, paved meaning with asphalt and stuff like that our government would do. Thank you for taking my call.
All right. Thank you, Melvin Lake. Thank you so much. I'll pick one more call. Good morning. Morning.
Yeah, thank you so kindly. Medical matter and O'Neill. This is activist Jim Walker. We had a joint conversation this morning from Monrovia County, District Number 4. Let me appreciate Monrovia President and Astute lawyer, Mr. Gongloe. And I have two questions. When elected, what will be your stand against corruption and security privatization against
I think he said all of that.
How many cases you have pleaded and won at the upper and lower court as a poor man lawyer?
All right. Thank you. Might I be half a minute? Okay, let me pick up more calls up. Good morning. Morning.
Good morning, I want to appreciate
You want to tell us your name and where you calling from?
my name is Lauren Michelle. I'm calling for so many.
Go ahead.
I want to appreciate our honorable in the studio there, our presidential aspirant, Tiawan Gongloe. Yeah. He has spoken all of the good things, and then our ears are listening, and we want to see the eyewitnesses of those things happening. Whether there are people, that whether in a struggle, it's moving, all of those places that he named, that they are all visited there, that know that United States.
Go to the question. We don't have time. Just go to the question, my brother.
Okay. With those people that behind him, and when you have him to be successful and become president of Liberia, and when some of them are ministers and they are involved in corruption, will he treat them the way that he's saying it?
Okay, great. That's a brilliant one. Thank you so much. Thank you. Let's pick our last call on the line. No, I gotta let you go. No, you have to move. You can't treat us like this. Good morning.
Yes, good morning, Brother Oli, and good morning to my family brother over there, Maka, the congregation over there. I say good morning. And
Oh, so you know the man town.
I know the man, my man, and I'm there for the same time.
The same town. Thank you.
Yes, I want to tell our father in studio, thank you ever so much. I always follow me when he come in studio. There would be my
Okay. All right. Y'all go to see you. Let's pick our last caller. Morning.
I am overwhelmed. I'm Edwin Kalama. I have never listened to any political party to lay out and spell out the Liberians' problem. Counselor, I trust you, and I know you're going to do exactly as you said, because you've done it in time past. I will promise you, believe you me, it was never in my plan to vote, but I will give my vote to you, and I will make sure that every one person I come across, I will ask them to vote for you. You are a good man, and I pray that God, who sees your heart, will grant unto you this desire to transform our nation. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you. There should be a compliment caller. The last person. Good morning.
Good morning. There's a phone to start going for Grandkid, my country.
Grand Kidma. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. I said to the councilor, or when all you are saying, you're getting on a question for him, because I remember when 2017, President George came to Grandkid, my country, and told that we're not going to be a spectator to our own economy, and today we all are saying the same. So we are listen to him again tomorrow. We want to know if it goes over again, tell the thing that the president has done to us. So we are asking him, he will live on the wall.
All right.
Because when you want a vote, tell us that, then you get to it.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. And Councillor, you listen to the caller.
So let me the last caller. But Joshua is consistent. He said no Liberian will be a spectator. And there's no Liberian as a spectator in the economy. Why? Because in order to be a spectator, you have to be in the football stadium. But the rule right now under his government is that no Liberian is allowed to enter the stadium. So if you don't enter the stadium, you can't be spectator or player. You know, so they didn't understand what he was saying. The Liberian will not even come near the football field. Right now, they're not there. They're Bita and others that are the players. You know, it's not Liberian, it's Cllr. So, but my track record, the thing is, Liberian board picking a bag. And they made a serious mistake. They really understand it now. You cannot take your brand new Mercedes-Benz because some mechanics are failed on it and carry it to a carpenter. That's what Liberian did. So the carpenter is hammering the engine, hammering the whole car is damaged. Let them, they're blaming themselves. Now let them take their car to a mechanic to fix it.
One of the caller concerned about you.
The thing about whether or not I will prosecute the people who are behind me. They don't know me. You know, they don't know me. I like the policy of President Talbot that he signed a death warrant of William Talbot's namesake in his family. I believe in the rule of law. That's why the rule of law is number one for me. Everybody who knows me should. I make decisions, I don't look back. There's a young man that was on my security detail, Rich Banga, and he was misbehaving, disrespecting the head of the security, and I put him down 7 o'clock that night, pay away to come to Monrovia. He's out of my security. My decisions are irreversible. For example, when I left President Senate government, I resigned because of the Liberian people's interest that were being undermined by nepotism or high level of corruption. People came to me. Oh, can you reverse it? I said, no. I do not make rash decisions. I think through before I say something. I left the government ministerial job in the interest of the Liberian people. Some other people stay there for 12 years. Yeah? And they want to explain that. But I don't make decisions like that. I don't delay decisions that are very important for my country. I left the government. And I left the government so that she can change and be better. Today, this government is malfunctioning, and they are saying, give us the second round so we can do better. If you are pushing a woman to marry her, you won't do anything for her. That when you marry her, you will do something. This was the time for this government to at least fool us by doing the right things. Making sure that, our schools are good, more schools are built, that the clinics are good, that the roads are passable. This government is violating the right of freedom of movement, which is a fundamental right under the Constitution of the people in southeastern Liberia, of the people in Lofa, the people in Bapulu, and Riverside and many parts of the country. They are doing it now, and they say, oh, give us a second chance, then we will do it. You are pushing a woman and you marry her. Then you say, when I marry you, before I'll buy you clothes, I will feed you, I will give you money. It just doesn't work. Somebody asked, how many cases you want? Let me tell you, I'm not that smart to know for 35 years as a lawyer how many cases I want. I can't answer that question. But let me talk to the 18 graduates that are out of jail that are there. Let me talk to so many other people. When you watch my video around the country, it's all testimonies of things that I've done. I met an old man in Jakakan. He said, you know me? I said, I don't really know you. He said, oh, and you the one got us to get my sister, the late Mother Mary, the whole property back to the family that somebody wanted to take from her. I got testimonies all over. In Kwakabata, in Bonka, the one man came and said, this man, I don't remember all these things. Say, I'm giving the white chicken in appreciation of what he did. I was working with one NGO, and I had accident, my leg was broken, and Social Security didn't want to do, and he intervened for me, and Social Security sent me to Ghana. From there, I'm getting $730 US every day, every month until I die. I got 2 dogs to the third one. Many places in Yonyale, in Nimakande, one fellow guy said, I was a student activist at University of Liberia. The jail all this man released us. In Belgium, one man said, you know, so I'm getting testimony from all over from my work. I don't intend to defend it. I don't
How
even
can you continue to be a woman lawyer?
Yeah,
you want to be heading for the presidency.
Well, you know, money is not, you know, we don't even remember the money people in the world 10 years ago. We remember Mahatma Gandhi, who was a poor man, was stood up for the Indians. We remember Nelson Mandela. We remember Martin Luther King Jr. These were not rich people, but these were ideal leaders who wanted to transform society for the better. And some of them died in the process. And like I said, 5 times in my life, I could have died, but God saved my life. So, you know, let me say that when I was running for the presidency of the bar, this government empowered supported one candidate with all the money. They were giving money to lawyers. That lawyer got 61 votes. I got 221 votes with that money. We are not millionaires, but we can make it happen.
Okay.
And the Bible, I'm a Christian. I believe in the Bible that good name is better and will always be better than silver and gold.
All right.
And there are no candidate.
Closing up.
There is
closing
no,
up.
Yeah.
As you close up.
Yeah. There is no aspirant in this election that has the good name that I have in this country. None.
I'm sure about that.
Yeah, clear.
Okay.
Yeah, they always. Yesterday on OKFM 2 Cllr call, Councillor Gongloe has good character. He's a good man, but Liberians don't vote for good food, they vote for bag of rice and money. So it's insulting to the Liberians. I'm talking to you. Listen, that you know we need one good man to set a good standard in the governance of this country, like Rollins did in Ghana and Liberia would pick up, because we are a rich country. We should not keep choosing to be poor by electing people who don't know what to do in the offices they are elected in and who don't care for the Liberian people. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Councillor. Thanks for coming.
Happy Easter.
Yes,